happens if certain paths are followed. That is what makes this story uncomfortable.
We were not supposed to communicate privately with them or anything like that, that we had a certain job to do and we were to get it done. And that was the scientific job of removing the samples and then the studying of the samples for the back engineering, these are the reversing like chemicals.
The idea was to reverse an illness that he and his people have, which is the 52?
The 52s. And what we were trying to do initially, jumping off onto the biology a little bit, what we were trying to do is we were trying to actually strip the exterior cytoplasm off from the cells and produce cells which would be independently functioning, then to understand those cells biochemically, genetically, so that those cells could then be re-added as a graft into the J-rod to attempt to ameliorate the neuropathy.
The idea of multiple timelines doesn't start with Dan. It already exists in physics. In the 1950s, Hugh Everett proposed what's known as the many worlds interpretation. The idea that reality doesn't collapse into one single outcome, but branches into multiple possible outcomes. Later, physicists like David Deutsch expanded on this idea and treated parallel timelines as a serious theoretical model. In this view, reality isn't a single line moving forward, it's a branching structure of coexisting possibilities. This idea also appears outside physics. Over the years, different people connected to classified programs, intelligence agencies, or advanced research have spoken about timelines, parallel versions of events, and branching outcomes. Some called them timelines, others called them parallel worlds, others described them as alternative versions of the same reality.
Basically, you're saying there's two timelines. I mean, I'm sure you're aware of the work of physicists now that are saying, look, if you can have two timelines, you can have 2 million.
Well, don't we really have 3 or 4? I'm discussing 24,000s, I'm discussing 45,000s, 52,000s, and present day. How many timelines are that? Because these people moved ahead linearly in their timeline. Just because we want to call it timeline 2 doesn't mean that there are other effects or superimposings which are occurring on different realities during even their own timelines.
Exactly. I mean, there's a sense at which what you're talking about is not so much that the P45s, for example, timeline won't exist, as it will actually separate from our reality and become more like a parallel reality instead of an intersecting one.
From what I understand, the people who were just prior, which would be us, according to their history, to the people who were just after, exist as a straight vector of time.
Later, physicists like Bryce DeWitt, Sean Carroll, and Max Tegmark developed and discussed this idea further with modern physics. They approached it from different angles: quantum mechanics, cosmology, and the mathematical structure of reality. But the underlying idea remained similar, that reality may not be a single linear path. And they're not alone. Over the years, many other researchers, philosophers, and theorists have explored similar models, using different language, different frameworks, and different assumptions. The idea also connects to how time itself is described in physics. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity treats time as part of a four-dimensional structure called space-time, where past, present, and future exist within the same geometric framework. And this is what makes people uncomfortable, because there's one show that keeps getting the future right: The Simpsons. So right, and so early, that many have started asking if they don't just predict it, but access it. Here are concrete examples. Donald Trump as US president showed up in the show in 2000. He entered office in 2016. Wrist video calls appeared in 1995. Apple Watch video calls became normal by 2015. Face-to-face mobile video appeared in 1995. FaceTime launched in 2010. Autocorrect jokes appeared in 1994. Smartphones adopted it widely after 2007. Touchscreen phones appeared in 1995. The iPhone arrived in 2007. Self-driving cars were shown in 2010. Real road tests became public by 2020. Delivery robots appeared in 2014. Cities began using them in 2021. Virtual reality appeared in 1997. Consumer VR took off around 2016. Digital money jokes appeared in 1997. Bitcoin went live in 2009. Disney buying Fox appeared in 1998. The deal closed in 2019. A tiger attacking Siegfried and Roy appeared in 1993. The real incident occurred in 2003. Mass surveillance themes appeared in 1998. Snowden's leaks exposed it in 2013. Greek financial collapse jokes aired in 2012. Greece defaulted in 2015. Lab-grown meat appeared in 1999. It entered restaurants by 2020. Civilian drones appeared in 2005. They became common after 2013. Mars colonization jokes aired in 1994. SpaceX began serious plans around 2020. Lady Gaga's performance aired in 2012. She did it at the Super Bowl in 2017. The Higgs boson appeared in 1998. CERN confirmed it in 2012. Voting machine disputes aired in 2008. They dominated headlines in 2020. Facial recognition jokes aired in 2003. It spread in public spaces by 2018. AI-generated art appeared in 2004. It went mainstream in 2022. Voice assistants appeared in 1998. Alexa launched in 2014. Smart glasses appeared in 2002. Google Glass appeared in 2013. Now, getting back at Dan Burish's story. He mentioned something called Project Looking Glass. It's described as a system designed to observe possible future outcomes, not by predicting one fixed future, but by modeling a range of potential timelines based on current conditions and decisions. The idea is that reality does not move toward a single result, but into a branching set of possibilities, and this system was built to explore that structure. Looking Glass is described as combining advanced computation with physical modeling to simulate how events might unfold over time. Different variables produce different outcomes, allowing multiple possible futures to be compared side by side. Over time, this creates something like a map of trajectories showing which paths stabilize, which diverge, and which tend to collapse.
You've got the Looking Glass technology that they use, and you use, and you were instrumental in discovering. Were you in?
No. This is an original technology which was derived from ancient cylinder seals by people from our future who provided it to us, meaning the rogues, the P45s.
Okay, the people from our negative future.
That's right. We wouldn't have this lovely technology if it wasn't planted in our past for us to use now.
Dan mentions that Looking Glass was originally based on a set of very old instructions for accessing naturally occurring wormholes in what he calls hyperspace. Those instructions weren't treated as mythology, but as technical guidance. The equipment was built by following those instructions first, and only later was it modified and refined through experimentation. Over time, this led to the discovery that the system could be used as a kind of peering glass, a way to observe different aspects of both the future and the past. He links those original instructions to ancient cylinder seals, which he says slightly predate the Sumerian period and were later recopied into Sumerian seals as well.
I would say that they slightly predate Sumerian time frame, but that some of the information which came down from cylinder seals that slightly predated the Sumerian time frame were then recopied in Sumerian seals as well. And those cylinder seals, oh yes, and those cylinder seals, to the best of my knowledge, have all been obtained.
From Iraq.
Some of them from Iraq, yes.
Some of them from
Egypt? Some of them from Egypt. Some of them from other countries where they were being stored.
This interview was recorded in 2006 with a strong focus on what was expected around 2012. The concern was an approaching energetic event, a large-scale interaction between Earth and the Sun, and what was described as a galactic energy flow passing through the planet. This event alone was expected to put stress on Earth's systems, but the real concern was what would happen if that energy interacted with active technology, especially technology designed to observe, model, or interact with space-time. In the interview, a probability is mentioned, a 19% chance with 85% confidence that a geophysical disaster could occur. That still meant an 81% chance that it would not, but the risk wasn't treated lightly, because the scale of the potential outcome was extreme. The disaster described was a global geophysical shift affecting the Earth's crust and causing massive loss of life. The concern was that the active systems could trigger or amplify that process, that they could turn a possibility into a certainty. That's why the decision was to disable the technology completely, separate its components, and remove it from use. The goal was to let that period pass without technological interference affecting space-time. Well, such topics make me question reality.